Hello again, everyone. Free to play time. We've had an interesting week here. Shall we show you what's been going on? So, where we left you off last time, we'd just unlocked Magus, yeah, Lady Deathstrike, and Nightmare. We've unlocked a few more since then. So, we got Juggernaut on reveal. Move away all enemy cards played here this turn, including unrevealed cards. Very good effect. Then we played a bit. Well, I say we played a bit. We actually didn't play a lot of Grand Arena. We actually used our gold, which we've been hoarding, to just buy the event pass for 800 gold. So that allowed us to get Mother Ascani straight away. On reveal, give the leftmost card in your hand +2 power and -1 cost, then copy it. I haven't actually used Mother Ascani yet. You can tell by the fact it's not glimmering with boosters. But yeah, we have at least got her, so when I think there might be a deck that would benefit from her, it'll be nice to use her, because she does seem quite powerful. We got Valkyrie. On reveal, set all cards here to 3 power. Very underutilized tech card, but I do like Valkyrie. Whenever I can slip her in a deck, I do enjoy it. We got Arrow. Hang on, no, I think we had Arrow before, didn't we? It's just we got a variant for Arrow. We got Thor. On reveal, shove the Mjolnir into your deck. Mjolnir is a 0/0 with the on reveal, give Thor +7 power. We've got Red Skull, 514 stat line, ongoing. Enemy cards here have +2 power. You don't want that ongoing ability. Then we've got Dragon Lord. This was from the Series 4 pack that you can get from Grand Arena. On reveal, put a card from your hand here. So 5/5 stat line, but the positive is that, say you're playing cards that aren't easy to play, like an Infernaut, Dragon Lord is just like, let me help you out with that. Then we got Moon Knight. 3/3 stat line. On reveal, discard an even costed card from each player's hand. So brilliant, well, not brilliant discard card, but a very useful discard card. Then we got She-Hulk, a 6/10. Costs 1 less for each unspent energy last turn. We've got Dazzler, a 2/2. Actually, let me just clarify. Dazzler, Cull Obsidian, and Thanos we got in this final Thanos package that we got for the 30-day new player experience. So, yeah, we got all 3 of them with this. Dazzler, Series 3 card, ongoing, +2 power for each location that's full on your side. So, very good. It can go quite easily up to a 2/6, sorry, 2/8 even. Cull Obsidian, I believe Cull's a Series 4 card now. Let me check. Yeah, Series 4. You can only play this where you have a 1-cost card. What it doesn't state is that you can play a 1-cost card and then Cull. So you can combo them like that. It's just you've got to have the 1-cost there before Cull can be played. And then we've got Thanos, the big man himself. Series 5 card. Game start, shuffle the 6 Infinity Stones into your deck. So the Space Stone, 1/3 stat line, on reveal, draw Thanos, ongoing ability, nothing can stop you from playing Thanos, other than cost. Like, if you've got 3 energy, you can't play Thanos just because you want to. You've got to stick to the energy, but location-wise, nothing will stop you. Reality Stone, 1/2, on reveal, replace this location with a new one. Bit like Scarlet Witch, but at 1 cost cheaper. We've got the Time Stone. On reveal, draw a card, give Thanos -1 cost. So, nice for getting the big man out early. We've got the Mind Stone, a 1/1 stat line. On reveal, draw 2 stones from your deck. Now, I remember watching a video with Lambie years ago at this point. I think it might have been with Alex Kosher or Cozy Snap. And I remember he was saying that if you've got Mind Stone in your opening hand, snap. You know, it's that good a card, and nothing about the stone has fundamentally changed in that time. So I would still stick to that advice. If you've got Mind Stone in turn 1, snap, simply because you're going to draw 2 stones out of your deck, which means your deck will get a little bit thinner. You're going to be able to utilize those stones, which in some cases draw more cards. It's just a brilliant card to pull. Then we've got the Power Stone, ongoing with a 1/3 stat line. If you've played all 6 stones, Thanos has +10 power, so theoretically Thanos can be a 6/22. And finally, the Soul Stone, 1/1 stat line, on reveal, draw a card. Ongoing ability, Thanos cannot be discarded or destroyed. Nice just to prevent any weird shenanigans there. So yeah, Thanos Very rightfully a Series 5 card. I think they found a nice spot for him right now. He doesn't feel overbearing, but it's still quite fun and useful to play with. So, yeah, Thanos seems to be in a nice sweet spot. But even though we've got that deck, I think it was yesterday, we are not using it. Let me show you where we are right now. We are rank 97, but if I actually show you my ranking, I was at rank 99, and I was so frustrated. I was 2 cubes away from getting infinite, and I went on a bad run of games. So the aim of this video is to get to infinite, and I'm going to be showing you the deck we're going to be using, which is this. Did I build that up well enough? It is a Sauron Nightmare deck. So I did mention it last time when we got Nightmare from the pack. I was like, okay, let's see if we can redeem ourselves a bit with this. And in my defense, I feel like we have a little bit. So I did want to incorporate Magus first of all, but I just thought, no, that card's just too random for me to try and throw in. Plus, all of these cards do have a purpose. So let's go through them and I'll try and explain what each one's going to be doing. Okay, so Sauron, a 1/2 stat line. On reveal, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards in your deck. So simply put, all the cards that have ongoing abilities in this deck have got ongoing effects that we do not want on the board. So Sauron's just great for silencing those abilities. It means that if we've got, say, Lizard that would have an ongoing of -4 power, we don't have to worry about it. Ebony Maw, another example. 1/7 stat line, you can't play this after turn 3, but the ongoing effect is you can't play cards at this location. So we don't want that. We want to be able to play cards whenever. And can I just reiterate, by the way, with Sauron, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards in your deck. It doesn't say remove the ongoing abilities. So with Ebony Maw, it does allow you to play the card whenever you want, not just before turn 3. So, or, you know, on or before turn 3. So yeah, Sauron is such a good pairing with Ebony. Then we've got Rhino. Now, I feel like Rhino's a bit of a flavour pick. If you've got Maximus, that would probably have a similar effect. Essentially, I wanted a big body. I wanted high stat line. So 2/5 is relatively high for what I've got. On reveal, add a rock to your side of this location. And yeah, we don't really want to be adding the rock. If we can avoid it, it's nice. But we're not upset about it either. Then we got Lizard. Another big body, a 2/6 stat line, ongoing, -4 power if your opponent has 4 cards here. So again, great Sauron target, we don't be worrying about that. But even if you just get a bit unlucky and Lizard's location is, or the opponent's location is full, we have still got ways to silence that. Well, ways, we got a way. Nightmare is one of them. 3/1 stat line, on reveal, replace the text of each card in your hand with text from a random card of the same cost. So, what I was saying about Lizard, it wouldn't be in effect if it was on the board, but say you've got it in hand and you're like, ooh, we didn't saw on it, you could still Nightmare it. So, Nightmare's a very flexible card in the sense that it could create something that's very desirable. Like, I've had some very interesting effects that I will describe in future cards. But then you have some dud ones. The one that comes to mind is with Lizard. We had one that was Zorn, which is a Series 5 card that moves enemy 3 and 4 cost cards away from that location. It's not bad, but is also restricted because it means you can't play the cards there either, which isn't what this deck's about. So it can be good, but it can also be a little bit awkward if it's not the effect you really want. Anyway, next up is Gladiator. Again, I wanted a big stat line, so that's why I've gone with Gladiator again. 3/8 stat line, on reveal, add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location. If it has less power, destroy it. So, I'm not bothered if Gladiator uses his ability or if he's Nightmared. Either way, a 3/8 stat line is what we're gunning for. Priority will always be to Nightmare if we've got a decent amount of cards in our hand. There might be occasions where we do hold Nightmare for a turn just in case we can pull a better card to have a better effect. So for instance, you've got Nightmare, but the cards in your hand are like 1s and 2s that maybe wouldn't have desirable effects. We won't wait for a 4 or 5 or a 6 cost card. Then we can Gladiator. So, yeah, that's probably the only situation Gladiator would be played ahead of Nightmare, but Gladiator's just good if you haven't got Nightmare. Then we got Crossbones, a 410 stat line. The text reads, you can only play this at locations where you are winning. Now, in principle, that is a very restrictive text because if you aren't winning the location, then you can't play at that location. But, one, we've got Nightmare, which can alter the text. Also, this deck is constructed to have a lot of high power cards. So, in theory, we should be winning locations. So, Crossbones shouldn't be too heavily restricted if we can't remove his text. But if we can, we might get a nice bonus. Then, we've got Typhoid Mary, a 410 stat line. With the ongoing effect, your other cards here have -2 power. Again, we can soar on this, we can Nightmare this, and, as we're about to show you, we can Enchantress this. A 5/8 stat line. On reveal, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards here. Enchantress is here purely as the backup plan. If we cannot get a Sauron hit, or if we cannot get a Nightmare hit, Enchantress will at least remove the negative and ongoing effects. Granted, if we then have to have 2 locations full of ongoings, it can only do 1 lane, but it's better than it not doing anything. So usually if we got to that point where it was like no Sauron, no Nightmare, and we could only Enchantress 1 lane, it's probably a retreat situation. But she is good if we've only had 1 to 2 and we still got ongoing in effect. Then we've got Red Skull, 514 stat line, ongoing, enemy cards here have +2 power. It isn't a great ongoing effect for us to be giving out. So let's say your opponent has only got 1 card in their lane. It's not too bad, is it? I mean, like, say we played a 5/14 and they've got a 2/2 in their lane. It's only a 2/4. But say they've got 4 cards in their lane that we're gifting them 8 power. So we don't want to be gifting our opponent 8 power. So the best way we can do that is by silence it either with Sauron, Nightmare, or Enchantress. Then finally, our last 2 cards, we've got Giganto, a 6/16. Text reads, you can only play this at the left location. This isn't actually that restrictive as it seems. As much as I don't really want to be playing at the left location, I want to be able to play it wherever I want. I don't normally mind that too much because, you know, I will put a bit of power in the left maybe, and then if I think, all right, I haven't silenced or I haven't removed the ability from Giganto, I'll just play it there anyway. You know, it's not the worst. But ideally, we Nightmare it. And then the other card, Infernaut, 620 stat line. If you played a card last turn, you can't play this. Really, the only way we play this is with Nightmare. But there is also the possibility we float turn 5, so we don't play Red Skull, we don't play Enchantress, and then we Infernaut. Usually in that situation, we're on for a retreat, but again, it is always a possibility. So that is the deck, folks. Like I say, I did do some serious climbing with it yesterday, so I was really impressed with how it came out. I'm really worried now because I've said that so many times in recent videos, and it's been like, I've got that 8 and 2 in my head where I went 8 and 2 on my own and then went 2 and 8 when I was recording. So I'm crossing my fingers that doesn't happen again. Because if anything, I don't want to be declining from rank 97, is it, to rank whatever it might be. So let's just go here a sec. Yeah, we're rank 97. So let's select the deck. Here it is. We're level 948 at the time of recording. It does give me an indicator we're not too far off the 1000 rank, which if I recall correctly, if I just pull that up, it's not far until, we start getting collector's reserves. So, yeah, not long to go. All right, let's get into some games. Let's see how we get on. All right, sorry about that. We've got Ebony Moor turn 1. Rule of thumb, we don't play Ebony turn 1. If anything, you're just causing problems for yourself because then you've got to find a way of getting around it. Still no turn 2 play, that is not fun. Scarlet Witch could be nice. They're discarding our Infernaut. Not what I'd want. Although a 625 Infernaut would be tasty. You know what, let's Nightmare. Even though it will essentially get rid of the... Oh, hang on, saying that. This would be absolutely cool if we could pull Ghost Rider off this. Let's see if we can do it. I'm not snapping, but I should have snapped, arguably. Ooh. Morph could be awkward. They've got Typhoid Mary. Okay, we've got Proxima Midnight from Typhoid. We've got the Hood from Ebony, which is nice. We've got Gambit from Gladiator, which is quite nice with that. got Vision, and we've got a normal Giganto. So I think we're going to play like this. And hopefully we hit the Proxima. Well, Proxima Mary. A little bit greedy, maybe. Oh, we got the Vision. Okay. Okay, we can double whammy that. We can play the Demon and we can play Typhoid. Okay, that is not ideal. Yeah, we're only drawing that location. I'm going to have to gamble a little bit here. We play... Yeah, we haven't silenced Lizard, so maybe... I think I've got to go this way around, even though I don't want to. I'm going to assume that they play another they play Odin there, but I don't know. Oh, they haven't. Oh.
Are ye worthy?
Bad gamble. Okay, 2-cube loss. I just didn't know which way they were going to go with that. I couldn't play Giganto there anyway, so I had to play these 2 cards. So yeah, just a little bit unfortunate. Okay, we got Bob. And we've actually got a hand I'm liking the look of here. We'll play Sauron right. So that's going to get rid of the ongoing abilities in our deck. Vulture is interesting there. Okay, so Red Skull's silence, that's good. We haven't got a turn to play. Alright, my thoughts are... that we're going to Gladiator now, simply because we haven't got the ability to Nightmare now. And then we'll Nightmare over here. Alright, I've got no clue what this deck is meant to be. Okay, so we can't destroy the 2099. But they can have a double forge effect, so that was not a great Gladiator. Nightmare gives us Scarlet Spider, Devil Dino, Heimdall, and Living Tribunal. That is actually not bad. I'm going to Snap. It's not like a crazy Devil Dino, but I think we just do that anyway. What was this one? That was Heimdall, so maybe we just Tribunal. Ooh, okay. Alright, I'm going to stick in, but I recognise this is a risk with 8 cubes on the line. I'm trusting that the 22 Red Skull plus the Infinite will be enough. Spread out.
So happy.
8 and 3, yeah, we win. That was closer than I would like. But, yeah, we saw out the win alright. Okay. That takes us up to rank 98 with 4 out of 7. Okay. Iaquinandi. Okay. Sauron. Let's silence some cards. I'd say we've got Red Skull that could be silenced. Sadly, not much else, but one's better than none, I guess. Would be really helpful to pull Nightmare just so that these 2 in particular will be affected. Although saying that, I ideally would like to play Lizard, so let's just see how it goes. Okay, well, Lizard left. Actually, you know what? No, we will Lizard left. Because we can then do Gladiator mid. We want to try and aim to get the 10 or more power so we get bonus energy. That just reinforces my Gladiator mid. Okay, so let's do that. We're currently not looking great in terms of like a nightmare plan, so I'm going to snap anyway just because I want to try and put a bit of pressure on. They might play left to try and challenge my lizard. We're going to play Typhoid left next turn most likely. Hopefully we can pull Enchantress. Oof. That's a rough one. Oh, okay. Well, it's more time for me to find the cards I want. Ebony is playable, so that's nice. Let's just play Typhoid for now. It will reduce the Lizard by 2, but it should give us a nice chunk of power in Crown City. Okay, Gambit is a bit wild. Hey! Don't play Gambit in an armor deck. You know what? We've got time, so let's just nightmare what we've got. Ooh, Ultron could be fun. What was the Ebony Moor? Batroc. And we got Frankie Ray. Okay, there's some fun to be had here for sure. Let's do Enchantress, which hasn't been affected by anything. And let's just play Batroc for now. Enchantress. There we go.
All hail Hydra!
I'm not sure that was the best use of that ability, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, this looks good. I mean, just adding a bunch of 2-power drones, yeah.
Victory.
I mean, let me just map that out because I'm not entirely sure. It would have been 4 power there, so we'd have drawn, assuming they didn't play there, which they could. And then they would have been 0 there. So it wasn't actually the slam dunk I was treating it like. But if I'd have played it right, that might have been better because it would have just shored us up a bit here. But then they could have played something big left. So yeah, a bit of... it wasn't the perfect play like I was making out, but I think it still would have done enough, just maybe not that clean. Anyway, 2 cubes, that takes us up to... I didn't think it was that. It isn't, it's 6 out of 7 on 98. The UI is just second dinner, I told you last time. Can you sort this, please? Alright, New York. We've got Sauron in hand. Sadly, we've got Ebony Moor in hand. That would have been a great pull next turn. But still, we've got loads of ongoings in the deck, so Sauron's got a few targets to go for. Atalan. Okay, because of New York as a location, I'm hoping they don't have a location changer, and I'm going to play more left, because we can then shift things over there. Let's do that. They've got Medusa. Alright, we can't play turn 3, so we just got to skip. Okay. I'm not particularly happy how this is looking. Yeah, we aren't winning a location I can play at, so we can't play Crossbones, so Lizard is the play. That's a very wild Drax play, considering I can't play that. It's so tempting to play Nightmare so that I've got freedom with these final 3. Yeah, I'm going to play it on Camotage as well, just for the giggles. I mean, let's be real, I'm probably losing this one, so I'm not snapping. And if they snap, I'll probably retreat, but let's just see. I've got 3 cards in deck. Shaoloud, Gwenpool, Black Panther, Scarlet Spider, Infinite. Ugh, okay. Not what I wanted. Yeah, just retreat. Boomer Snap, just do not stay around for them. I'd rather lose 1 cube than 4. Fresh Princess. I'm going to say, are you also from Bel Air? No, you're outlawed on 84 planets. Fair enough. Okay, this is actually a very good location for us. So we are going to Sauron still, but we've now got the abilities to do ebony stuff over there. And I'm guessing they will have realised that. Ooh, they've got Howard. Wow. Ooh, we lose Nightmare. That's not nice. Yeah, let's just play Ebony. Yeah, Ravonna Renslayer, your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less. So Iron Man becomes a 4-0, for instance. Quantum Realm, we are going to avoid that like the plague right now. Let's play Gladiator. Speaking of Iron Man. That's a good card to destroy in this shell. Ooh. That was a bad move. If anything, it indicates you don't know what you're doing. We didn't silence Red Skull, but I'm thinking we could do Red Skull mid, Giganto left. Ooh, that's a bad play as well. I'm so glad I snapped. I mean, okay, granted they still get +5 because of the ongoing, but that was rough to watch. Okay, Red Skull will be hitting him, sadly. But how big a benefit is it? They've got 10 there. Yeah, I was just looking and I thought, Giganto, Lizard, Typhoid, they're all the same. You know, I could play this or I could play these two and it'd be 16 for each, so I'll play it, but I'm a little bit wary because 23 is what we're going for, and if they've got Onslaught, I don't know what that goes to. Yeah. 19, we're fine. Yeah, I didn't do the math, and I probably should have, but I knew that it was going to be Onslaught to finish there, but I just didn't know what the double Fantastic would power up to. So, clearly won the right. I was not even touching that, considering turning base power to 2 was just so far against what my deck wanted to do. But, yeah, I wasn't expecting them to go so heavy in the mid as they did, but maybe I should have done. I mean, it had the vibe of a ongoing deck, but I think the Nightcrawler at the start threw me off a bit, plus the Colossus. So, yeah, I'll give myself a bit of fault for not reading the deck better, but still, we won, so it's alright. Rank 99, 2 out of 7 we're on. Okay, we're up against Shane. I've just got Walking Dead vibes when I see that. Alright, Sauron Silences. Cool. What are we getting for turn 2? Anything? We'll get a 10 or more power card. That's helpful with this deck. We get Scar. Alright. We did silence the Typhoid, so that's good. Sadly, they're pulling something that could be good from our deck. Daily Bugle, what are we getting?
Live from the Daily Bugle.
Okay, I think they got my Rhino. That looks like my Rhino. I can't remember the exact rarity I've got it at, but I think it might have been that. They saw... Or it could have been my Red Skull. Oh, okay, that's bad. Yeah, we're in retreat territory here. I have not got a card I can move. Are they seriously playing my deck? Created by Daily Bugle. Right, so they did have a Rhino in the deck. Mine was green. Okay. I also don't know what to do because I don't think I've got a winning line here. I think I do just retreat because they've overpowered me to begin with. I'd rather retreat for 1 than risk going any further. Fancy Penguino. I feel like I've got Sauron at every first turn in this set of games so far. I mean, I'm loving it, but very surprising. Alright, so Sauron silences. And it pulls Odin. That's a waste of an Odin. They play Nightcrawler. What do we pull? Crossbones. And say it means we haven't got to worry about playing him. We're still behind on power, but that's okay. After turn 4, give your hand -1 cost if 12 or more power is here. Let's start filling it up. I mean, arguably, we could just play Ebony and hit the target. I am reading that right, aren't I? 12 plus. So surely that is 12 or more, not more than 12. We'll see. Well, Typhoid and Proscenium. Definitely not snapping in this game, that's for sure. Yeah, we got a discount there, so we did trigger it. Let's play Giganto. Big dumb stuff. Red Skull could be quite nice final turn. I don't know where, but let's see what they do this turn. Wong. Wow. Alright, Enchantress could be cool final turn. Nope. Okay. Why do I feel like they're going to White Tiger? That would win that lane. It wouldn't win that lane with 1, but it would with 2. So I think we just do that, because that wouldn't be a lot White Tiger on its own. Yeah, there's the White Tiger. Okay, that whiffed. And we got that. Okay. That was a good gamble in terms of making sure we got enough right, but also securing the left. So, more than happy with those 2 cubes. Alright, Bobby. No 1 or 2 cost cards. That's not ideal. Lizard. Let's play Lizard there. Ooh, Nova. Said it before, I don't feel like I see a lot of Nova nowadays. Let's play Gladiator here. You won't gain the buff before doing the on reveal, but it's still 8 power. Ooh, that's not what we wanted to pull. Suppose it's out there. Okay, we'll play Crossbones. Wolverine. Dazzler. I mean, it fills the location. This screams bot. I think I'm going to play Red Skull. And I'll play it mid, actually. That way we can Giganto left. Potentially. I mean, this screams bot, but I just don't know what the bot's cooking. I mean, in theory, I could play this and this. Unless they go and flood a location. Bucky, Carnage. So, Winter Soldier, no Angel. What a weird... I'm assuming it's a bot, but that's still weird by bot standards. Alright, we'll take the win. 2 cubes off Infinite. Rickety Bridge. Not a location I particularly like in this deck. Or with this deck. We've got cards that... Well, we've got Gladiator that doesn't mind destroying things, but we don't particularly want to have things destroyed of our own. Okay. Maybe they'll have an armor. All right, we'll play Lizard mid. That way it's 7 power. Reality Stone. Okay, it's a Thanos deck. Ooh, okay, we both get a monster. Okay, so we've got priority going into the next turn. Infinite would be absolutely lovely here. Oh, mwah. You know what? I don't even want to play all my energy really, but I am actually okay with Gladiator, so we'll do that and we'll do that. Those 3 should be okay to be hit. I like the idea of clogging that lane up, potentially. It's fine. If it had been 8 or something, then it's like, okay, it clogs it. If not, we've just destroyed something. Okay, so Sandman, Meek, and wow, Arnim Zola.
Who they dig up this time?
What was Red Skull again? It was Sandman. Meek is not much of anything. And Rhino's just a little bit awkward as well. Let's play more over there. Yeah, I kind of wish this was something different. I mean, maximum 6, so we can play Red Skull Infinite. Get 214 powers. Mockingbird, wow, okay. Mockingbird, for the record, costs 1 less for each of your created cards in play, so that's how it came down so cheap. Let's do that. I'm not going to snap because so close to infinite, I don't see the point. We might as well just play for 2 if we can just stick it out for 2. I just don't know what their play is because this feels like a very...
Power must be controlled.
Alright, so they've already used their Shang. So unless they've got an Absorbing Man, we should be free and clear here. I mean, I wouldn't rule out Absorbing Man. This has been a very weird deck to face, but... like, hopefully we're okay. Just trying to see what... if they've played their Agent 13 card. Is that this? No, Nick Fury again.
Hello! Can you understand me? Cut off 1 head, 2 more shall take its place.
Alright.
Victory.
That one was fun. 2 cubes, infinite. And you know what? Don't be doing that to me, game. You've just said I got to rank 100. Don't you be doing that to me. Let me restart the game. There we go. That's more like it. We are infinite rank. Our standing is 21,470. Okay. Let's claim our card back. And let's apply it to the deck. Oh, hang on, let's show you guys as well. There we go. Infinite! So, I'm going to do one more battle just to do a complete set of 10, but I'm so glad I achieved this on video because, one, I was so worried I'd end up tilting, but also, I think this is the most proud I've been of it in Infinite in terms of this is pretty much a straight 28-day run to it. So, yeah, I'm over the moon. All right, final game, Mr. Jazz. And we know this guy is a real player. All right, Zora on turn 1. I've had a lot of that today. I've also had a lot of Ebony Maw in my opening hand. All right, just for the fun of it, please give me Nightmare. Come on, let us go out in style. Give me Nightmare. You give me Rhino. Okay. We'll play Rhino mid. Might even put more in there. Okay, this Psylocke. Oh, hang on, I just realised you've got the wrong screen on. You can't actually see the deck. Let's play Gladiator. It does mean that we can't play more because we can't play him after turn 3, but honestly, I'm not too bothered. Okay, that stops them wonging. The Absorbing Man, the Psylocke, that's a choice call. I mean, they will have 5 energy next turn. Well, we're still winning, so we must play Crossbones. I mean, at this rate, we could float a turn and just play Infinite.
Wakanda forever.
Okay, they've got Prio. You know, I think I'm just going... I don't actually... Ooh, they get me thinking here. I'm going to skip a turn. I'm going to just play Infinite. Jim Hammond. Ooh, that's clogged them up there. They will gain +1 power. Yeah, so they can't climb any higher there, so I'm just going to play Infinite and hopefully just win. They've got Prio as well, so they couldn't take it out. Yeah.
Victory.
We didn't Nightmare, but hey, we got the win in the final one, so GG's, man. Alright, let's show you the final stats. So, yeah, this has felt really good. I mean, 10 games, 7-3 win rate. You can't really ask for much more. I don't know if my collection level had an impact in this because we did face a lot of very odd accounts. But I would like to think that it also shows that if you were to pull a card like Nightmare this early in your collection level, you've got a good chance of hitting Infinite. Because Nightmare's just so unpredictable. I mean, I think you saw in the video, there were times when he gave us something that was pretty good, but other times it was like, how do we use this? Something that didn't happen that I was kind of hoping would was when I was playing on my own, we had an instance with Red Skull where Red Skull copied the ability of the Fallen One. Now that's a Series 5 card that sets your on reveal, sets your max energy to the power of this card. So as a 5/14, it would give you 14 energy going into turn 6, which effectively means you could play your 2 6-drops if you wanted. So I was really hoping we could pull that effect just for the fact that it would be really nice. But honestly, there's so many good effects in some of these cards. There are a few duds, you know, there's quite a few you don't want, but then there are a few that are like, wow, this is really good. So, and when you think, right, this deck isn't too, well, okay, I was going to say it isn't going to be too expensive, but let's just run through it very quickly. And I'm using this screen just because it's clearer for you guys to see. So, Series 3, Series 2, Series 2, Series 1, Series 5, that is expensive. Series 4, yeah, expensive. Series 3, 3, 1, 3, 2? Oh, Series 3. Sorry, I forgot Giganta was Series 3. And Infinite Series 2. So, by my count, there's one Series 5 card. There's one Series 4 card. Am I right? Yeah, one Series 4 card here. And the rest are Series 3 or below. So, it's a slightly expensive deck. But honestly, in terms of like getting to Infinite, that is actually relatively cheap. I mean, I'm sure you can do it without using Series 4 or higher cards, but I feel like Nightmare in this build just, it's like the finishing touch. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe if you didn't have Nightmare, you could put in something like Shuri. Shuri is a Series 3 card, but it would double up on some of the... It would mitigate some of the negative effects in the sense that you're increasing your power. So if you were to Shuri Red Skull, it's a 5/28. And then even if they're getting +8, it doesn't matter because you're still +14 on it. So there might be instances where you could maybe keep the series count low by dropping that. I mean, I put Gladiator in. You could maybe find something a little bit lower again. Maybe you could do Swordmaster or something. Try and actually saying that Swordmaster would just be a bad on reveal if you had to play it. I'm trying to think what else might be out there. Debris. Debris is a 3/8. Granted, you don't want the rocks, but maybe you can work around them. I don't know. It's a bit of a funny one, that. Actually, that's just making me think that maybe you could do something with Nightmare and Ozymandias. Sorry, that was completely spiraling thought there. But yeah, honestly, this was a load of fun. Whether you're brand new to the game and you're thinking, oh god, I don't know what cards to get, if you pull Nightmare, I'd like to think this shows that you can create a very good deck relatively early on with it. Gladiator's probably the one card that you wouldn't get early. You might have to wait a little bit. But there are so many cards that do have high power that you will probably find something that can slot into that. I mean, I just picked some bad ideas there with Debris and Swordmaster. Let me have a look before we go. I want to find something. Okay, so not as high power, but you could maybe do. Well, saying that, Luna Snow Series 5. Yeah, maybe Wave Series 3. It's a 3/6. Yeah, that might not be bad because then you could play, I don't know, Giganto left, and then you've got time to then get Red Skull out. You might have to put in 0 if you do this. Let's say that as well. 0 is 1/3. Remove the abilities on the next card you play. There might be situations where if you were to not have Nightmare, you might take out Gladiator as well. You put in 0 and you've got something like Wave just to get a bit of cost reduction. That way you could end up playing these big boys down, and 0's there if you can't Enchantress. That way you've got a way of silencing a card still. So yeah, I feel like that shows why this deck works, because I've just had to really slot a few pieces in to try and make it workable. But yeah, I think it could still do something if you were like stuck with options. Okay, last thing before we go. Like last time, I've got 4,000 tokens, so we're going to open a pack and see what we pull. Let's go. Clear. So when this permanently gains power, add Flames of the 14 to your hand, if in hand or in play. And the Flames of the 14, if I can click on it, which I can't here apparently, we've got Claire boosters. Cool. Let's show what Claire's all about. Here she is. Flames of the 14. Can I click on it, please? Thank you. On reveal, as a 1-cost skill, afflict an enemy card here with -3 power. So if we can find a way to keep giving Claire power, we gain the Flames of 14, which allows us to debuff our enemy. So very niche card. I've done a few videos featuring Claire last week or the week before, so we're checking them out because she is a fun card, but she does require a bit of support. So folks, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about that, because I completely respect if anyone's looking at this and going that for a free-to-play series, Nightmare is not very free-to-play. I will completely respect that, because, you know, he's just not an accessible card unless, like me, you get lucky and pull him in a collector's pack. But I think it just goes to show that sometimes you can just pull something that can really tie a few pieces together. So, for instance, if you're having the same problem, like you've just started playing the game and you've just pulled a card, what I suggest is leave it in the comments and I will try and get back to you and tell you what you could try and do with it. We'll see if we can make something work. If anything, I might even make a video on it, because even if I can't do it on this account because I don't have the card, I could always do it on my main account. And I think that could be a bit of fun. So, yeah, let's see if we can do that, if any of you got that problem. But if not, I'm just going to keep doing videos each week with whatever I've unlocked or whatever I think might be playable. So let's keep going. So, until next week, folks, I hope you have a good rest of your week. Until then, next time, bye for now.